Talk a little bit about Arkansas Pine Bluff. Another really good football team. Very talented bunch. These guys are going to get after you really hard. Defensively, really good linebacker play. The guys are really fast on the back end. Secondary is pretty good. Plays fast. Good linebacker core. Any questions?
Coach, just kind of same question. When you hear Coach Fobbs, getting his extension done, but his big thing was making sure you guys were taken care of as assistants. What's it like to know that the guy that's kind of overseeing the whole operation is going to bat for you like that?
Man, Coach Graves hit it on the spot. Character guy. Guys, he's an awesome guy. I've been knowing him since we was teenagers. We played together. We was teammates. We hung out together. He's always been a really sharp guy, very intelligent guy, and always been a person that wanted to see other people do well. And that's what I always got out of Coach Fobbs. Even as a young guy, he's always been solid. People just looking at him now as the coach, Coach Fobbs, but Coach, you know him, and at the same time, he was always a really, really good guy. Really good guy, done the right thing, on and off the field. You see him walking down, say, Coach, let's go hang out. Oh man, I'm here at the class, got my backpack on. He's going to class, doing what he's supposed to do, as a young guy. And most kids that age, hanging out up under the tree of knowledge, going to get some beer, but he was a guy that was totally focused. It was almost like this right here was his destiny. Like this is what he's supposed to have been doing. Like it was already planned for him to be the head coach for Grambling State University 20 years later.
Do you feel that he kind of sees all of you guys as equal parts of one big mechanism? It's not like head coach, assistant coach, whatever. It's kind of an equal.
He really do. And sometimes I text him, I say, Coach, congratulations on your extension. He said, no, man, it's us, man. Everything is about us, and good job, Coach. No, man, it's us. No matter what you try to do to try to get him that credit, he's not going to take it. So you can forget about it.
When he goes to bat for y'all like that, especially publicly saying he didn't care about if he got a raise, he wanted to make sure y'all were compensated, do you feel any more of an obligation to kind of return it and go to bat for him, if you know what I mean?
Oh, no doubt. I mean, it makes you more focused as a coach to really get in here early and get your job done right, get the guys ready to play week in and week out. Especially in my situation with the quarterbacks, definitely those guys has to be ready to play any given time. And he makes you just really want to work hard because that's the type of person he is. He's a hard worker. Sometimes I sit down and just talk football with him, and he really makes me look at the way I'm coaching. Because it's some things that he talks about, it's like, wow, man, that's what I need to do. He'll say it in a way, but he always going to let his coaches coach. And it's up to you to blow it or do a good job. So any little thing I can pick up from any coach or any guy, any older coach, and even Coach Fobbs, which he's a very bright coach, he gives me a lot of good tips, and I kind of just run with it.
This week leading up to the game, how much will y'all talk to the players about what Pine Bluff was able to do against Alcorn State as a reminder of kind of how dangerous of a team they are?
Right, they are, like I mentioned earlier, they're a very talented group. Coach Graves also mentioned that, the records really go out the door when you face a Grambling, period. Coach Coleman's going to have those guys ready to play. They've done a really good job against Alcorn, but the thing is, guys have to realize it's homecoming also. It's our homecoming. And like Coach Fobbs said earlier this week, it's homecoming. It's for people coming back home. We're already at home. So we shouldn't even worry about the situation with homecoming. We just got to go out here and play these guys. Alcorn didn't take those guys seriously. And you saw what happened. And Coach Graves illustrated earlier that we just got to go out here and play Grambling football like we always been doing. So.
Has anything changed in the approach to take them seriously, or is that kind of already built in?
That's, like I say, that's Grambling football. That's how we approach everything. That's how we approach practice. That's how we approach meetings. Everything's attention to detail. It's very intense, especially on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Even as a coach, you have to get your mind right to go out there because it's very intense. And Coach Fobbs is very intense on those days. So the guys get that. They have really bought into what's going on and what we're trying to get accomplished. And like Coach Gray said earlier, from last year's point of guys getting a chance to feel that loss, that championship loss, it gives you an opportunity to see, okay, you have to work a little harder. As a coach, you have to coach a little harder. You have to be more attention to detail with what you're trying to get accomplished to be a champion.
I know it's not the goal that you guys necessarily are satisfied with. It's conference championship, the bowl game, all that. But to have I think it's a 13-game regular season conference winning streak. You guys haven't lost a conference regular season game in 13 weeks, going back to 2 years ago. That's pretty impressive in and of itself. What goes into having that kind of a sustained success over that period of time?
It's the process. It's the process that Coach Fobbs has brought here. It's a lot of intensity work on and off the field, in the classroom and on the field, and also during the off season. Just the process. It's no different from any other program that's very successful. They have a process, and the head coach brings that process to make the program be very successful, and that's what he has done.
You talked about the intensity Tuesday and Wednesday. Those are the days Coach was talking about the money depositing. That when you make your largest deposits on Tuesday and Wednesday?
Yeah, very intense. Meetings, everything's attention to detail. The guys know how to approach this deal because what we're trying to get accomplished is the bar just set so high until guys understand about how the approach that you have in your meetings and on the field. So they get it. And the thing about it, they're policing themselves now. And you don't have to always be saying, do this, do that, do that. They tell each other to do this, do that, do that. So that's a good deal.
The running game has been pretty consistent to date. I know that was a big thing the last couple of years, was trying to be able to kind of close out games on running the ball and keeping the defense off the field, as Coach alluded to. Where do you think that starts on the success on the ground game y'all had this year?
It all starts up front, especially, interior guys, either it's offense or defense. The interior part actually wins football games. Our offensive line has done a really good job, especially last week. They've done a really good job. We got a chance to rack up 535 yards total offense. Did a really good job in the pass game, also did a really good job in the run game. You got a guy like Martez back there, Kelly, even the young kid Brooks. They're doing a really good job of carrying the load.
Talk about Leake, 2 touchdowns this past weekend. Kind of had a little bit of a breakout game.
Yeah, I was really happy for him because he needed that to get himself jumped off. Leake is a very explosive kid, very bright kid, and he's a great kid. So I was very pleased to see that happen. Leake is one of those kids where you can't blink for a second or he'll be by you. Once he get that confidence going, and you saw it once he got going, he's walked with a swag. He walked with a swagger now. So we're really excited about that deal that happened with Leake this past weekend.
What does it say about the offense and the passing game when Verlin's held to 44 yards and Chad is held to 56 yards, and you're still able to throw for 339?
I don't think it's so much they was held, is that we was throwing the ball to multiple receivers. There was a lot of people touching the ball. If I'm not mistaken, probably about 7 or 8 guys touched the football. We had a few plays where I think it was some bad calls at the same time, but at the same time, we had some plays where, from the quarterback standpoint, we missed some throws. And we'll get better at that throughout the week. Kincaid has been really awesome. He had another really good performance, with 326-yard performance out of 20 of 27 attempts. And one thing I'm gonna mention about Kincaid, he had one interception. He hadn't thrown an interception at least his last 100 attempts. People hadn't noticed that. So he's been real careful with the football and very accurate with the football. His touchdown interception ratio is where it should be. I think it's outstanding right now.